Putin's attempt to get involved here, so to speak, to set foot as a mediator didn't work out because Peskov regretfully announced that the state of Israel had rejected the Kremlin's mediation efforts. They don't want...
Because he's a loser in the Middle East.
Because Putin hasn't achieved anything in the Middle East. Everyone can see that all his allies in the Middle East are losing.
Yes.
Syria lost, and in a completely incompetent way, let's just say it was totally screwed up.
Russia was the mediator.
Russia was the mediator. There you have it.
The negotiations were held in Astana.
By the way, here's a little meme that popped up. I posted it on my Telegram channel. Ali Khamenei is sitting by a window with a view of the Kremlin, and there with him are Bashar Assad and Viktor Yanukovych. I called this picture 3 from Prostok Vashino. Well, it was drawn by artificial intelligence, by the way, which we actually discussed in a separate episode. It's really very interesting. And as a bit of a follow-up, a little moment of self-promotion, so to speak. Back then, you remember on air, I said that artificial intelligence should be used to take out Russian propagandists like Simonian and, to destroy the Crimean bridge. That got a reaction. There was a whole hysteria. And I also mentioned Masha Zakharova. Maria Zakharova made a special statement condemning my actions. And Simonian said, just look at these Ukrainian experts. See how far they fall, and they're now calling for journalists to be killed with the help of artificial intelligence. I'm saying this because the podcast by Oleksander Mysienko and BEREZOVETS is being watched. Our enemies are watching it very closely.
I think they're even watching it in Iran now.
And now, well, obviously, artificial intelligence allows everything to be translated, so they'll translate it into Farsi too. If suddenly on Iranian state television they say that artificial intelligence should be used to eliminate Ali Khamenei, why not? And why shouldn't the state of Israel do it? They could show this on Iranian television as soon as tomorrow.
By the way, I never said that.
Well, I just suggested that it's possible.
By the way, no, that's exactly what I said, that I'm waiting for similar calls from President Trump regarding Putin. That's what's missing. And one could truly believe in the American resolve and leadership that exists right now. America is that kind of country. It's just that these steps need to be taken, but unfortunately they aren't. Because you can't fight and declare a fight against one terrorist and try to understand another terrorist. These are absolutely mutually exclusive things. That's why I think there needs to be a clear sequence of actions. If we're already saying that there is an axis and it's the United States, it's not us who came up with the idea of an axis of evil, and now Russia should be included in it as well. So there is Iran, North Korea, and there is Russia. Well, then let's take down the entire axis of evil, not just act one way here, another way there, and somewhere else just try to prolong things.
Hypothetically, let's imagine what we were talking about, that Iran is a state involved in Russia's armed aggression against Ukraine, is supplying ballistic missiles, providing 600 Shahid drones and technologies matrices, the matrices that are now being used to launch strikes with hundreds of drones. Just this year alone, more than 20,000 strikes have been carried out using Iranian Shaheds. Just this year, think about that number. All of this is Iran's responsibility plus the downboying. I'm saying this hypothetically, this is hypothetical. For Iranian state television, is it ever possible, if a coalition is forming of our allies, that Ukrainian units, maybe special operations forces, maybe the main intelligence directorate, could appear on Iranian territory or take action against Iran? Or do you think, is that even justified at all, considering this previous history?
I wouldn't rule anything out, because events are developing so rapidly right now that anything is possible. But I'll repeat once again that based on our current national interests, for us, of course, the main interest is for the situation in the Middle East to stabilize as quickly as possible. Because if things continue to develop in this way, as of today, I don't see any advantages for Ukraine if the war drags on, even if, for example, Ali Khamenei and the entire government there were to be eliminated and so on. Even under such circumstances, if the war just keeps dragging on, all the attention goes there, the money goes there, the weapons go there, and who stands to gain the most from this, so to speak? Only Putin.
We also forgot to mention the spike in oil prices.
Yep.
Russian oil went up in price by at least 15% right after the first strikes. And we can only imagine how much higher it could go if the conflict drags on. The price of Russian Urals oil per barrel could reach, as the Moscow Times reported, up to $130 per barrel, meaning it could already be a 3-digit figure. That's a huge bonus for the Russian state budget. Their budgeted price is $70 per barrel, as far as I remember. And just imagine if it ends up being twice as much. So that's another reason. Is it beneficial for us if the war between Israel, Iran, and possibly Western countries siding with Israel drags on? No, it's not beneficial.
Yes.
We need a short campaign that ends with a peace agreement, which of course should be favorable to our allies, first and foremost to Israel. In other words, we unequivocally support Israel. We are on its side, and we want Israel to achieve victory.
And is Israel on our side?
I believe so, definitely. Because
I mean, the government of Benjamin Netanyahu.
the government of Benjamin Netanyahu is definitely on Ukraine's side, because there's a part of military technical cooperation that simply isn't publicized, which was mentioned by Israel's ambassador to Ukraine, Michael Brodsky, and which is either not confirmed or even denied by official sources, but it undoubtedly exists. We won't add anything more. Obviously, it's better this way. Everything positive is done quietly.